Hello, hello, hello. We're back. Welcome to Ground Pass On Site Miami Edition. We're back. We are completing the Sunshine Double. So, very few tennis players have actually achieved the Sunshine Double, but our little podcast that could, Ground Pass, is achieving the Sunshine Double. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Ground Pass On Site, your daily review show when the podcast is on site at a local tournament. I am so excited to be at Miami Open for this year's tournament. I've actually been at this tournament before. I came for the first time last year. It just so happens that this tournament falls in my birthday. Like, my birthday is sometime during this tournament. So I decided last year to treat myself and come, and I thought, oh my goodness, I'm going to do this every year. It's perfect. So I am here for a lot of things. I'm here for my birthday. I'm here from the tennis. I'm also here covering the tournament for Talking Tennis, which is what I did at Indian Wells as well. So a lot is going on. And today was day one. But so the last time I was at this tournament, I came during the middle weekend because, of course, as a fan, I think the first week, middle weekend, that's kind of when everything's happening and you can get a lot of tennis in a short amount of time. That's where I suggest most fans go to tennis tournaments, either the first week or the middle weekend. By by the second week of the tournament, it's like there are less players around the ground, so things can get pretty quiet. But I came last year during the middle weekend and it was buzzing, just absolutely packed, as most tournaments are during the weekend. Coming on the very first day has been actually very nice. It was very quiet. I'm also here as press, so I needed to get the lay of the land. And when you're at a tournament for the first time in that capacity, there's just a lot to absorb. Where you go, how to get to the press seats, what you can and can't do, what press conferences you need to be at. It's a lot to absorb. So it's nice when it is a quiet tennis day. And there was some and there was some really good tennis going on today, but not as much. There were 4 matches that I really wanted to see in person today, and I actually only got to see one, but it was the one to see. So yeah, what is it like at the Miami Open, the grounds? So this is actually at the Hard Rock Center at the Miami Gardens. It is not close to Miami the city, Miami downtown. I think it's closer to Fort Lauderdale. So if you are staying in Miami, you should know that. It's not sort of just a hop, skip, and a jump, and you're there. It is a drive, and I remember from last year, I sat in a lot of traffic trying to get to the tennis grounds, and this year I decided to just stay closer to the Miami garden so that I could avoid all of that traffic, and I much prefer it. But yeah, it's at the Hard Rock Stadium. It's where the Miami Dolphins play, and then there's some events that happen throughout the year that are temporary and they get put up and taken down. One of them being the Miami Grand Prix that happens sometime after the Miami Open, and then the other is the Miami Open. So a lot of people make fun that it's a tournament that's set up in a parking lot, but there's a lot more to it than that. You don't get the mountains of Indian Wells or the permanent structures that exist in Indian Wells or the permanent structures that exist in Indian Wells, but you get a very, very beautiful location. If you follow us on Instagram, I have put some photos up and videos up. I'm also going to do a video recap, and you can kind of see a bird's eye view of the grounds. There's a kind of an aerial tram that goes around the grounds that takes you up, and I got to ride it for the first time today, and the views are great. It's definitely more compact as a tournament, which I also like. Getting from one court to another is not a hike, which is great. And yeah, it was very quiet. So this was day one of the WTA draw, and it was the second day of qualifying for the ATP. So unlike Indian Wells, Miami Open kind of staggers the ATP and WTA. I don't know which one I like better. I mean, personally, today I just loved that I didn't have to cover so many matches so that I could get the lay of the land. But I understand how, for some people, this is sort of almost a false start because there wasn't much happening on the grounds. But you know what was happening today? Simona Halep played today. Simona Halep is back. She has been away because she was suspended because of alleged doping. She took it to a review, basically an appeal, because she was punished and given a 4-year ban, but she appealed the ban. Once she appealed the ban, they actually reduced the 4-year sentence to 9 months. So technically, she could have played the U.S. Open last year, but that's a conversation for another time, probably for the longer podcast. But she's back. She's back playing tennis. The Miami Open gave her a wild card, and I got here in time and got settled in time to be able to see her match. It was great. She's been away from the tour for 2 years. I actually was at her very last match, which was at the U.S. Open 2022. Was that 2022? Yeah. And so she hasn't played since then. And she actually looked way better than I thought. I thought, haven't played tennis that long, it would be a little bit of a rough start. And she actually gave Paula Badosa, who she was playing, a run for her money. She took the first set, but lost it in 3. And, Paula Badosa is also looking good. She also has been in and out of the tour because of a back injury, but today she looked really good. After losing the first set, I think she reset and became a little bit more aggressive and sort of pushed to win that match, so that was good. I got to talk to both of them in press. Today was also a super weird day because if you have read the news, unfortunately, Aryna Sabalenka's boyfriend died early yesterday morning. So it has been a little bit of a weird day on the tour. And, both players, I think, not Simona really, but Badosa, who's a really good friend of Aryna, was asked about it. And it's interesting because Badosa does play Aryna Sabalenka in her second round, which will happen on Thursday. So we will make sure to be there and recap that match with you. But yeah, Simona was looking good. She talked a little bit about her time off, which all of the press conferences that I work on will be on talking tennis. Later on at some point, I will put them on Ground Passes YouTube channel. You heard that right. We have a YouTube channel. We are everywhere now. We are everywhere that you want us to be. You want us to be somewhere accessible to you, we will be there. So we're on YouTube, but I haven't had time to sort of build that up and, put videos up, but I will at some point. It's been an exhausting 2 weeks, but I'm loving it. So yeah, that's my mini recap of the Miami Open day 1. Really love being here under a different sort of credential. I'm pressed now, so you do get a lot of insight into what the players are feeling, and I'm really excited to bring that insight to you, our listeners. So keep at it with us, like and subscribe, as they say, wherever you listen to this podcast, especially if you're on Apple Podcasts. Giving us a review of 5 stars or whatever you feel like is really great. It really does help the podcast. Writing a review is great as well because I can read that, and if you leave questions there, I'll answer it. What do you want to know about the tournament that I'm not letting you know? I will answer hopefully those questions over the next few days that I'm at the Miami Open. It's late here right now. I probably need to go to sleep because tomorrow's schedule looks packed, but it's been great. See you tomorrow for another daily recap. Bye.